Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, David. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this awesome Iron Man arm out of Lego, so I hope you enjoy. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you all the weapons, features, and hidden abilities of this awesome Iron Man arm, guys. So I hope you enjoy. I'm going to be giving you kind of a history. I made this thing over the course of about 2 months, but it was not straight 2 months. It was on and off work, so I guess you could consider this the Mark 1. It's not based on Iron Man's Mark 1 or anything like that. It's just a Mark 1 for me, I guess. So you can expect Mark 2s, 3s, and so on in the future, but not very frequent. It'll be very spaced out, probably about a year between, I'm not sure, maybe a few months or something. But you don't come back next week expecting a new Iron Man arm. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. As I said, this is not based off the Mark 1. This is just my own design, but it is obviously based off Iron Man's standard style of armor. It is not red, as you can see, but I don't think that's a super big deal because I didn't have like a ton of red parts to cover this in. But I think it's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna be giving you guys a kind of history, and then yeah, just basically showing off this awesome Iron Man arm and all of its abilities. So let's go. So guys, getting into it, as I mentioned previously in the video, I came up with the idea to make an Iron Man arm probably, I'd say about 2 months ago, and I've been working on it ever since until this video's date. So not like straight 2 months or anything like that, just kind of off and on work. I worked on it for probably about a month or so straight, and then it kind of fizzled out, and then I kind of put on the finishing touches later. But I'll stick some pictures of it now so you guys can kind of see what my progress was and stuff like that. So I started off about 2 months ago, and I just got a very simple, rough design with kind of some just infrastructure around my arm and stuff like that. And then moving on, I made like a crosshatch design, as you can see on the final arm, where it goes horizontally and vertically around my arm to really create a more uh, fitting design, I guess you could say. And then I added the armor on next, I believe, so that was definitely a step in the right direction to make it look a lot more clean, a lot more polished, a lot more finished. And yeah, that's basically where it ended. I had to add on a lot of little details. I had to move some of the colors around, but after that, it was basically pretty much finished. And I had some pieces left over, so I made my little brother an Iron Man arm also, and it's really cute. We'll talk more about that later in the video, but yeah, it was pretty awesome to make my little brother an Iron Man arm. I'll throw some pictures up of that right now, and you'll actually see him later in the video wearing it, so it's definitely very cool. So yeah, it's basically finished now, I'd say. Yeah, I wouldn't be making a video on it if it wasn't finished, but I am the first person on YouTube, guys, to make an Iron Man arm this way, because all the other Iron Man arms that you see are made of either actual like Lego pieces, like Lego bricks, or they're made of Technic, like the snap together type Technic, and not buildable figure Technic. So I am the first person on YouTube to make an Iron Man arm this way. I could be the first person ever to make an Iron Man arm this way. I'm not sure. I looked up pictures on Google, and no one made it the way I made it. So I could be the first person to make it this way, or maybe just no one has actually published it in any way. But I think it works really well to make it with the buildable figure parts because it really encases your arm, wraps around it, and really works well in my opinion. So yeah, that's basically the history of the Iron Man arm. Spent about 2 months. And yeah, first person on YouTube to make it this way. First person on the internet as a whole to make it this way. So definitely very awesome. Let's move on. So on my Iron Man arm, you can see that there's definitely a lot of mobility, not only in the wrist, which contains a lot of mobility, but also in the hand and the arm itself. You might be thinking your arm doesn't really move, but it actually does a little bit, like when you're flexing your wrist and stuff like that. Your arm does move, and if something's too tight or too jagged in certain areas, then it could hurt your arm. The durability is also a big thing because your arm needs to, like, when you move your arm, you don't want your Iron Man arm to like fall off or anything like that. So I had to make it durable. The pieces fit together really intricately with the cross hatching I spoke about earlier. And yeah, putting it on and taking it off works basically the same way. You just snap it together kind of along a certain point, kind of like a zipper. I'll stick a time lapse up so you guys can see how that works. It works pretty well. I mean, it stays on my arm, and it's a very form-fitting design. Depends on your arm width and all that stuff for how you guys would make it if you guys want to make it yourself. When you take it off, though, it does leave a few marks on your skin. Like when I take it off, depending on how long I've worn it, it'll leave marks on my arm and hand, but they go away within probably a couple hours. So it's not like they hurt or anything like that. Um, They're a little bit irritating when you're wearing the arm, but they're nothing compared to what it used to be at the beginning when I had the original Iron Man arm that I had made. So definitely a lot of improvements in this arm. Another really important thing on any Iron Man arm, or basically any Avengers thing, is weapons. So this Iron Man arm contains plenty of weapons. The main one is obviously Iron Man's iconic repulsor, so this is definitely very awesome. It's right in the area where you would expect the repulsor to be. It doesn't actually shoot or anything, it's just kind of an aesthetics thing. The other weapon in the hand type area is the knife. You kind of just pull off this little piece of armor plating and the knife comes out. You do have to move the ball shooter to get the knife out, but I think it works decently alright. I couldn't put a longer knife in because it just wouldn't work out, and it would like stick too far down my arm and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys understand. The next weapon is the rocket, which is in the back of the Iron Man arm, as you guys can see. This is also an aesthetics thing. It doesn't actually shoot. You just move a plate of armor, and the rocket pops out, and then, yeah, nothing much to it other than that. And then the last weapon, guys, is the ball shooter. So basically, in the, not sure what it's called, like the wrist area of the arm, you can find a little ball that's stuck right in this little hand piece, and it actually like snaps right in there. Like, I'm not sure if Lego meant to do that, but the ball literally snaps right into that place and it won't come out. Like, as you guys can see, it'll really stay in there for quite a while. And then you take it out, stick it in the ball launcher, which I made 4-pronged, as you guys can see. Lego usually makes theirs 2-pronged, but I decided to make mine 4-pronged because that makes it a lot more durable, stable, stuff like that. So you can shoot it with either one of the little pressy things, or you can shoot it with all 4 of them. So it doesn't really matter there. But yeah, that's basically the weapons on my Iron Man arm. 2 of them are only for aesthetics, but the other 2, which are the knife and the ball shooter, really actually work for something kind of, more so the ball shooter than the knife. But whatever, you know. So yeah, all of them are concealed pretty well. I mean, the repulsor isn't, obviously, and then the ball shooter isn't, but the knife is pretty well concealed under the hand, and then the rocket is pretty well concealed rather, in the elbow area. So I definitely think the weapons are very cool on this Iron Man arm. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I also made an Iron Man arm for my younger brother, so this obviously had to be smaller. It won't fit me, and my arm does not fit him, but as you guys can see, it's really mobile on him too, and he also has a repulsor, which had to be smaller than mine. Doesn't really look super realistic, but I couldn't really do a whole lot about that. And then also he has this other type of weapon. He does not have a knife on his, unfortunately, but he has this other shooter kind of weapon that really is blended in with the gun, or the arm rather. And then you can kind of just pop it out and it looks really neat. So yeah, he really loves his Iron Man arm, so I'm glad that I made one for him, and I'm glad I had some spare parts to use on him. So yeah, that's definitely really great. So that's basically that. Alright guys, that's going to end this video out. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about how to make your own Iron Man arm, please leave them down in the comment section. I would love to answer those. Please like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more LEGO videos and Battlefront content. Have a great day, and I'll see you all later.